Hello and welcome back to another video on the channel. As you can tell today, I'm on my own. What the hell is going on here? Well, I decided to shake things up a bit because as much as I'll been loved doing these reviews and things, I thought let's take the channel in another way as well where I'm discussing more than just the movies that we're reviewing. So today we're covering a tier list, as you can see, and what we're going to be doing, if you can't tell already, is the Power Rangers. Yes, I'm a mega Power Rangers fan. Out of all of these, I have at least seen all of them at least once at some point or another, so I'm hoping that this doesn't go over too badly, because there is some opinions, I would say, that might go against other people's lists, but remember, this is just my tier list. If you don't agree, then you can always do your own, so let's just get straight into the video. So, first starting up is Mighty Morphin. As everybody's definitive favourite, I would say. I'm not gonna lie, it's not my favourite one. It is one that I grew up with first. Like, I remember watching this as a very young lad. I was a bit older than this, though. That came out in the 90s. I was a 2000s baby. Obviously, I watched it in reruns. And then the rest of them are more the ones that I grew up with. So, for me, because of that, and because obviously if you actually watch it back now, it is really badly dated, I'm going to still put that in A tier, because it's not S tier for me, because as much as I love the original trilogy and the original Rangers, obviously Tommy is my OG from day one. Rest in peace, my man, rest in peace. But for me specifically, I don't think that was the best Ranger team. They're up there, but for me specifically, it's not the case. I know there's going to be people disagreeing with me in the comments on that, but hey, oh, that's the whole fun of doing something like this for a change. So, next up is Alien Rangers. I'm going to put that in about C tier. Like, I liked it, but I'm not gonna lie, I didn't care for it. It was like, this is like the middle child, I would say, like, in the whole aspect of the Zordon era. Like, a lot of people don't care for this one, and it's because it's not our team, and our team are now kids, and it makes no sense. And by the end of this, they get their Zeo powers, and then, you know, it's very confusing. Next up is one of my arguable favorite series, which I'm putting in S tier, is Power Rangers Zeo. I think this series gets slept on a lot because obviously Jason and a lot of the original Rangers left, and because of that, it caused people to not like it as much. But that's the thing, don't get me wrong, I love the original team up, but I love Tommy as the Red Ranger. I think it's one of the best looking Red Rangers outfits we've gotten in a Power Rangers series. I also think that it's good because it gave Tommy a better character dynamic with a lot of the Rangers, and it just seemed like in this series there was a lot more like hard-hitting episodes and episodes that actually connected with one another, and I like when Power Rangers does that, because going forward there's a few of them that really do that and do it really well, and then it goes back to its original formula, and that's why a lot of it fell off later on in the Power Rangers, I would say, because for me, I loved Zeo because of those sort of things, and also, I'm going to get so much hate for this, but I'm saying it, I actually prefer the Kat and Tommy relationship over the Tommy and Kim relationship, because as much as I love it, it's a very reminiscent of the first love, and everybody thinks that they should have ended up together, but the reason why I like that they didn't is because people need to realize your first love is never going to be the person you're going to end up with. It's not realistic, and also, to be fair, Kimberly had went on to do better things. Do I agree with the way they made her break up with him? Of course not. Everybody's annoyed at that, but for me specifically, I didn't really mind the whole Kat and Tommy thing. I also think it was better developed. Like, it took longer for them to get together, where in the original series it took them like a few episodes and then they were together, and for me it just felt a bit rushed. So that's another reason why I like that series a bit more. Power Rangers Turbo is a solid B tier for me. Don't get me wrong, I love this, I did like this, but of course this is when everybody left, like Kat left, Tommy left, and it was a bunch of new people, and it was still good for what it was still Zordon's era, but for me specifically, like, the rest of the new team were cool and stuff, and obviously this team does go on to the next one, but I would also put Power Rangers in Space. I would say an S tier, because for me, this is the darkest Power Rangers ever got. It was the end of the Zordon era. I know there might still be Zordon eras in here somewhere maybe, but as of right now, this is the order. It's not me that's made this list. This is from the amazing tier maker. So yeah, for me, Space was just good because we've got Andros, my main man. Everybody who knows me, because of my hair that's blonde and brown at times. They say I look like that one, and that if I was to do a Power Rangers cosplay, I should do Andros. So it's kind of a bit of a bias there as well. But also for me, I just think the story was good. There was a lot of overarching arcs in the story, and also a lot of the characters I really liked. Like I like Andros, and I do like the Turbo Rangers more in this because they got given more, I would say, development and a lot more. They felt more like a team. Like I still like Turbo, but you know, Turbo had like the weird like kid as the Blue Ranger and things to try get a new kid audience and stuff. Normally say I would just prefer Space over Turbo. Going ahead is Power Rangers Galaxies. This is another C tier. It was one of the ones that I did watch, but I wasn't such a big fan of, like Lost Galaxy. It was good. It was good for what it was, but I'm not gonna lie, it's one of those forgettable series, just like Alien Rangers. Time Force is going up into A tier, because this is one of my favorite versions of the Power Rangers. There's going to be a lot of that. It's going to be a lot of the newer stuff that will probably end up in D tier. For me, Time Force was a really good one. Good story, good overall arc, and also the love story in this one was really good as well. You can't hate on the love story. It was really good. It was really well developed. A lot of the story was really well developed as well, and it's just one of my favorites. Power Rangers Wild Force is also going into A tier because Wild Force was another one that I also watched growing up, and I loved a lot of the characters. I liked the story. I also liked the fact that now we had a different version of us, like a Zordon character. They did try to do that with all of these, but that was the closest one with the women. Also, you had the Six Rangers, which had the wolf theme, and obviously me being me, I love my wolves, as the name would entail, so Wild Force is another one in my favorites. Ninja Storm is also one of my favorites. I'm going to put that in A tier as well. I'm going to have to start putting stuff in the B tier and the D tier. But Ninja Storm for me was a really good one because it was the first time there was only 3 Rangers for the beginning of it. And then the other Rangers got added later. And also I liked the Rangers outfits the most probably in that one, other than Zeo in Space. Because I really liked the designs of the suits, and I also really thought it was really interesting and different to have a different type of ranger, because these Power Rangers weren't just normal Power Rangers. They were ninjas as well, and you know, they were a ninja academy, and you know, they had a talking gerbil as a sort of Zordon mentor, and I really liked that. Power Rangers Dino Thunder as another A tier. Oh, actually, I'm gonna put that in S tier because Dino Thunder was the one that I would say I predominantly grew up with the most. I had Cole's Red Ranger outfit. Also, the White Ranger returned in this one, and it was Tommy returned in this one as well. And it gave me, and it had that awesome episode with Tommy when it had every single variation of him. Even it had his Zeo form. Where later on in a lot of the Ranger stuff, I didn't like the callbacks because they always seem to forget that Tommy was obviously a Red Ranger, and obviously this one didn't gloss over that, and I really liked that. So going on to Power Rangers Samurai, that's going in D tier. I'm not gonna lie, I tried to get into it. I really gave it a shot, but I just couldn't. Megaforce can go into C tier. The reason why I'm speeding it up a bit is because these ones are the ones I'll know less about, and I watched a wee bit, but I just couldn't get into myself. Megaforce was a bit better than Samurai because we got the awesome callback episodes and things, but yeah. Dino Charge, same thing. For me, I'm just not into the newer Power Rangers stuff. Like, they've forgotten what the formula was, and it's like very episodic based, and they're trying to get all the humor back. And that's not just what made Power Rangers special. Like, Zeo, Mighty Morphin, Space, Dino Thunder, Time Force, Wild Force, and Ninja Storm, they all have a certain feel to them that makes them feel good, where these ones I'm not so fussed about. Ninja Steel, D tier again. It was one of the most forgotten ones. Dino Fury, I'll put that up in C tier because I know a lot more people are enjoying this stuff. But for me, like I said, I'm just not feeling the newer Power Rangers stuff. I prefer the older ones, as you can start to tell. Lightspeed Rescue, that's going into a solid B tier. It was a really good series. Was it one of my favorites? Not so much. Like, I still really enjoyed it whilst watching it. It was one of those ones where it's like, it's good story, good overall arc, and I'm pretty sure this is a part of the Zordon era. If not, correct me, because I can't remember, because that's how many of them are here, and I'm getting confused, because, you know, I know Mighty Morphin all the way to In Space is a Zordon era, so at least. Next up is another one that I would say would be put in S tier for me, is SPD, Power Rangers SPD, Emergency. I think the story in this was really well handled. Like, Jack and his friend the Yellow Ranger. I forgot her name at the moment. Sorry, my name. The names of the characters are escaping my brain at the moment. The first episode always stuck with me because it was two poor people trying to help out people, and then SPD show up to try arrest them, but realize that they're not bad people and that they're actually trying to help, and that's how they get offered the Ranger's place. So Mystic Force, I'll put that in D tier actually, because for me, as much as I liked it, I didn't care for the whole wizardry thing. Like, it felt very kid-like, and I know Power Rangers is technically supposed to be for kids, but like, it was cool, but it wasn't like nice. Operation Overdrive, I'll put that in a solid C tier. For me, it was decent enough. It was a good overall story, but you know, is what it is. Jungle Fury is going in B tier because as much as I didn't watch it, I know a lot of people did really enjoy that, and for me, like, generally speaking, I think I would have enjoyed that because I liked the way the look of the Rangers, and I did watch 1 or 2 episodes along the way. RPM is going into A tier. No, that's not just because there's a Scottish Ranger in that. Like, to be honest, I actually found that quite cringy because it's like, I'm Scottish. It's like Kale's story, bro. But for me, specifically speaking, it's more just because it had a good story, and it was actually quite cool to see it in a new light. And obviously, it was in a more dystopian sort of Mad Max world, which was quite cool. Hyperforce, not gonna lie, not really seen that one, don't really care for it. And Beast Morphers, as much as I know apparently it brought a lot of people back, I'm putting that in C tier because the outfits in that were horrible. I hated the Power Rangers outfits in that one. It didn't look like a Power Ranger, it looked more like a guy in a leather jacket with leather pants or trousers. So for me, it wasn't big. So let's take a look at this list and see if I would change anything, and after that, let's sign off the video. So, let's see. Zeo, Space, Dino Thunder, and SPD is definitely staying up in S tier. I might bump up Mighty Morphin, because, as much as I know it's a bit cheesy, I still have a soft spot for it. Time Force, Wild Force, Ninja Storm, and RPM, they can stay there. Turbo, Lightspeed Rescue, and Jungle Fury will stay in B, and I would say the same with these ones. And yeah, I think this is the finalized list. So if you disagree and you wish to tell me in the comment sections below, go ahead and do so. If you would like to put your own list down there, put it down there. But for me, this is what I would say is like the top tier list. I would actually put that one probably like there and like that. Yeah, I would have it in that sort of lineup. So basically, Zeo, Space, Mighty Morphin, Dino Thunder, SPD. So if you did enjoy this video and would like more content like this, hit the little like button down there, hit the subscribe button, and I shall see you guys in the next video.